What's up? It's Rob from Canes Access, and today I'm going to recap how the latest Pro Canes fared in the 2021 NFL Draft. Jaelan Phillips was picked by the Miami Dolphins with the 18th overall selection in the first round of the draft. The Dolphins had picked Alabama wide receiver Jalen Waddle with the 6th pick earlier in the night, and were looking to add an edge rusher. Phillips has been described by many NFL draft analysts as the best defensive player in the entire draft cycle. While being hailed as a can't-miss prospect and defensive stud, he wasn't the first defensive player picked, but he was the first edge rusher selected. Medical issues were the main reason he wasn't picked until the Dolphins got him at 18. Phillips was medically retired less than 3 years ago due to multiple injuries, including a car accident in which Phillips was riding a scooter that left Jaelan with an injured wrist that kept him out of football for a year. After returning to football and transferring to Miami, he excelled in 2020, leading the team with 8 sacks and being named a second-team AP All-American. The Dolphins recently cut Calvin Noy and were looking for someone to play opposite Emmanuel Ogbah. Ogbah led the team in sacks with 9 last year. Gregory Rousseau was the second cane off the board in this year's draft. The Buffalo Bills snagged the athletic freak with the 30th pick of the first round. Rousseau was an extremely productive pass rusher for the Canes in 2019, recording 15.5 sacks and 19.5 tackles for loss, but he opted out of playing in 2020. Rousseau opted out of the COVID-impacted season for more than securing his draft stock. His mother is a healthcare worker, and he wanted to keep his family safe during a time of uncertainty. Rousseau is being viewed as a developmental player due to his rawness at the position. He was playing wide receiver in high school just over 3 years ago. His size and athleticism led him to be a dominant threat at Miami. Head coach Manny Diaz used his versatility to play on the edge as well as an inside rusher in 2019. The Bills got themselves a steal as Rousseau's stock fell due to opting out and a subpar pro day. After Rousseau was picked late Thursday night, there was a massive drop-off until the next cane was picked. Brevin Jordan was widely expected to be a second to third round pick. When Jordan chose to enter the draft, not many Canes fans were able to blame him, as he had accomplished so much in his 3 years in Coral Gables, despite injuries plaguing him throughout his time there. It seemed likely he would be a day 2 pick throughout the draft process, but it was clear NFL teams thought differently. He was eventually picked by Houston Texans in the 5th round. Despite being one of the most productive tight ends in all of college football last season, 9 tight ends were picked ahead of him in the draft. The Texans are a team that hasn't had much recent success at tight end, so Jordan has a realistic shot at playing time down the road if things go his way. The other high-profile transfer edge rusher for Miami in the draft is Quincy Roche. NFL teams have been viewing Roche as a linebacker in the lead-up to the draft. Roche tumbled down draft boards before being picked by the Steelers in round 6. Roche has always been known to play with a chip on his shoulder. This has been the case recently, as there have been concerns about his height since the draft process began. Roche, who had over 50 tackles for loss in college at Miami and Temple, would need to add value as a coverage player in order to be on the field for 3 downs in the NFL. Jose Borregales will join the reigning Super Bowl champions after he won college football's Lou Groza Award for the nation's top place kicker in 2020. Despite winning the Groza, Florida's Evan McPherson was the only kicker selected in the draft. In the 5th round, he was picked by the Cincinnati Bengals at number 149. Borregales transferred to the Hurricanes from FIU before the 2020 season and became the first Hurricane to be named an AP First-Team All-American since cornerback Antrell Roll earned the honor in 2004. At Borregales was 20 for 22 in field goals, including a school record-tying 57-yarder at Louisville and all 37 of his extra points for 97 total points.